Hello everyone, I wish you a nice start for the week, and let's start with Bitcoin with the daily channeling here, where we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 toward the upside impulse finished, of course, our bull run, and we start to drop down and exiting our base channel, taken of course from the wave 1 based on the wave 2 as a signal of a correction, of course, unfolding toward the downside. Now, basically, this correction, of course, has a base channel based on this double 1-2. This 1-2 is unfolding there as an expanding diagonal. And that because, of course, the expanding diagonal in this wave, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The wave 4 is interfering here in the zone 1, as you can see, of course, which is not allowed to be a wave 3. You cannot call 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. You can only call double 1-2 in case, of course, of a deep correction. Now, in case of a deep correction, that means, of course, this is a 1-2 here, and then wave 3 unfolding. The wave 3 itself is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to finish, of course, towards the downside. We would like to see, of course, the price continue towards a lower, and, of course, to see the base channel taken from this wave 1 and based on this wave 2 to be broken as a wave 3 and as a confirmation for something very deep unfolding toward the downside again. However, if this is not the case scenario, that means, of course, if in case this is an ABC here, because, of course, expanding diagonal also is allowed to be a wave C, meaning ABC for a wave A, or a W here, we have an X already, and we have a wave Y finished as another ABC zigzag toward the downside. We have started to see a 1-2 and an expanding diagonal again for another wave 1, potential wave 2 currently is potentially finishing up as an ABC. As we mentioned in this possibility on the lower time frame, we're gonna see this area, of course, potentially 1-2, 1-2, and then 3-4, 5-4, 5, which it might unfold here. Also, several possibilities for a regular flat, that it might be a shallow bear market, meaning a 3 ways down, 3 ways up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, if we dive a little bit much more in the possibilities of this regular flat that it might be unfolding there, we have at least 3 possibilities here to unfold, of course, as a wave B. Starting with the lowest one, which is, of course, a triangle here, that it can be an A, B, C, D, and an E here, unfolding for Bitcoin, meaning a longer sideways range that we might expect for a very long time here, before we dive deeper in a wave C to finish, of course, a wave 2 there in the red box, which is our 0.38 fib level minimum requirement. But in this case, of course, of a triangle, the wave C might be a little bit deeper to the 0.5 fib level, which it might be, of course, in this case, the 44K for Bitcoin. So this is where you have a shallow bear market still, but with a little bit deeper price than other potential possibilities, which they are an ABC regular flat, very regular flat, as we mentioned. You might be in double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5. For a wave A as well, B and a C here, and then pushing down. I would say, yeah, I mean, in case that this is going to be very impulsive, honestly, it's going to be, of course, the third possibility that it might be here, of course, the expanding diagonal flat, sorry, which is, of course, double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5 for wave A, B, and a C, hitting above the 130K and 150K, of course, and tricking everyone that, of course, it might be something towards the 200K, but actually it might unfold in a very high possibility for wave C, and very aggressive one for an expanding flat, guys. So I doubt even that we might have a normal regular flat somehow, because, of course, in case that this is unfolding double 1, 2, I'm looking for a wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, which it might already finish an impulse in this area above the 100K. And that means, of course, it might be a massive zigzag. Now, in case that this has to unfold as a regular flat, definitely it has to unfold something as WX and a Y for higher prices somehow, and then another wave B, and then a wave C, and then pushing toward the downside. So you need much more complex structure toward the upside, ranging in this way, like overlapping and then of course wave B, and then wave C, and then pushing down. This is the only way that you can get, of course, a normal regular flat with it. So we'll see which scenario, of course, from this shallow potential bear market is going to unfold. It can be that the triangle already wave A finished. Currently, we are in wave B, and then wave C, D, and E, and then pushing towards the downside, guys. The timing is very essential. Of course, this is a minimum requirement time for a shallow wave 2, where you might have, of course, the 0.38 FIB time, and it can be even, of course, in the perfection a little bit here towards March or even April, I would say, for a wave 2 in a shallow bear market. Now, the possibility for a deep bear market is, of course, as we mentioned, we need first to break the channels. Yeah, we need to break this channel here. And also we need, of course, to see continuation towards the downside and breaking, of course, the possibility for a double 1-2 by taking the low of the second 1-2. Once we get, of course, the low of the second 1-2, it is a bear market confirmation. And then, of course, we dive deeper. Then we confirm, of course, something deep for Bitcoin. In this case, the time required, of course, is much more longer than the previous time here required for a shallow wave 2. That means, of course, the bear market might take, of course, 2 years, at least here to until 2028 in the middle of it, until we finish, of course, a large ABC here in a zigzag and then pushing toward the upside. For a zigzag, of course, we need a complete impulse, and of course, this impulse is still unfolding so far, until, of course, we reach in wave A, B, and a C. Let's dive inside this area here on the 2 hours chart to see what's going on inside it. So basically, inside this area, we are looking also at our double 1-2. As explained here, we have an expanding diagonal lately that we have predicted also, and it has worked perfectly, despite that the wave 5 is not very, very long, but still longer than the wave 3, making this expanding diagonal perfect. In terms of bullish, you are in a 1-2, of course, finished there, and another wave 1, and currently we are in ABC wave 2. Of course, there are 2 possibilities here for this scenario. It can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Can be, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Still unfolding for lower a little bit here. One more low, meaning, but at the same time, it can be a wave C there, which it can be an ABC, of course, where you have finished a 1-2 and then 3, 4, and a 5 for a wave A here. And then you have a wave B, which is very, very shallow, by the way. I'm thinking about this because we didn't reach, we barely touched the 0.38 here. And also based on the time, as you can see, there is a gap here. I'm gonna zoom in. There is a gap, of course, between the 0.38 and, of course, the price wick that we got here, which is, of course, very doubtful to be in a wave 2. Meaning, wave 2 is the last possibility. The highest possibility is a wave B or a wave 4 here in an extension for this impulse, meaning 1, 2, 3. If this, of course, is an extension here, because, of course, we see somehow a finished impulse there as well, which it can be a wave A, wave B, very shallow, 0.23, and then wave C is unfolding to hit our red box here, of course, for a wave 2. Meaning, possibility is still very high here for bullish in a zigzag wave 2, and then to unfold something towards the upside. In case we are bearish, where we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, therefore we have to count this is our wave 1. We're looking again for wave 2, and then wave 3, 4, and a 5 towards the downside. This is a bear market, the deep bear market, of course, that we might get over there. By all means, on the 1 hour chart here, I'm still looking potentially for one more wave 5. Of course, this can be your wave 3, all of it, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So if I'm going to label this, I'm going to label it like this, 1, 2, 3, wave 4, and wave 5. This is going to be the gray. And we might see, of course, one more low for Bitcoin anyway, because both can finish, of course, a wave 5 here for wave C, which it can be the ABC, perfectly finishing, of course, around the 1-to-1. Also, the 1-to-1 here is, of course, a very, very deep, 64K, 661, which is still above somehow above the 886, giving the possibility, of course, as well for a bullish scenario to be, of course, unfolding over there. In Confluence, I'm looking, of course, anyway, in between those targets, 65K 366 and $67,526. Yep, so this is regarding Bitcoin. I believe higher probability here is to dive for one more low there after finishing a wave 4 as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, today 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to finish up a wave C in a wave 5, potentially even a wave 1 here as an impulse, and then pushing towards the upside in any case scenario here. Whether you have finished wave C, it might be very bullish. If you finished wave 1, you're looking for a wave 2, which is, of course, higher prices. Yep, so this is regarding Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Before you leave, make sure to join our private Discord community. There you will get daily updates faster than YouTube, plus exclusive bonus trading signals for the gold, silver, Bitcoin, and stocks. You can also request one special technical analysis every day and get access even to our only members video on YouTube and also on Discord. And stay ahead, of course, with economic and political news that actually moves the market. And of course, we do regular Q&A sessions so you can get your questions answered directly in the Discord. And of course, if you're serious about leveling your trading, the Discord link is below in the description and in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.